So day 7, ellipses, day 2. We're going to transfer from graphing equations of ellipses to writing the equations. But I do want to reiterate some things that we talked about the other day because it will help with writing the equations. Number one, if you look here, if you have x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equals 1, anytime you just have x squared and y squared, your center is at 0, 0, right? Now, if your center is at hk, you're going to have x minus h all squared plus y minus k all squared. But then you have over a squared over b squared. If a squared is under the x minus h, your parabola is going to be horizontal, or your ellipse is going to be horizontal. If your a squared is under y squared, your ellipse is going to be vertical. Now, one thing you need to know is in the equation, a is equal to the distance from the center to the vertex. So over here, center to the vertex, that's a. The distance from the center to the co-vertex is b, and the distance from the center to the foci is your c, right? The only thing you need to write the equation is the center and the distance from the vertex to the center and the the center to the co-vertex. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's start with graphing here. Where is the center of this ellipse going to be at? It's going to be at -3, 1. Okay, so if I plot -3, 1, there's my center. Now I'm going to find the co-vertex and the vertex. Now, here, this is going to be your b squared because a squared is always your bigger number. So b squared is equal to 5. So b is equal to the square root of 5. Then a squared is equal to 25. So a is equal to 5. So from here, I know 25 is under the y. So I know the vertex is going to be on that major axis, which is above the center. So we're going to go from here up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now my co-vertex, right, if you look, what is the square root of 5 approximately? Square root of 5 is about 2.2. So I'm going to kind of guesstimate 1, 2. 2.2 would be about here. 2.2 would be about here. And that would be my ellipse. Okay, now the foci, right? Remember, the foci are going to land on this major axis here, right? So you know the x value is not going to change. So the x value for both of these is going to be -3. But what are we doing to the y value? Well, the y value is currently 1, and we have to figure out what the distance from the center to the foci is using c squared equals the absolute value of a squared minus b squared. So c squared is equal to 25 minus 5, which is going to give you 20. So c is equal to the square root of 20, which breaks up into the square root of 4 times the square root of 5, which is 2 root 5. Now, we're going to add that 2 root 5 to 1. Then we're going to take the 1 and subtract 2 root 5. And that would be where your foci land. How do we use this to write the equation of an ellipse? Well, the first thing we need is the center. That's the easy part. So here we have 5, 2 is our center. Our center is at 5, 2. So we could right away start our equation. X minus 5 all squared plus y minus k all, y minus 2 all squared. But we have to figure out a and b. Since it opens up horizontally, I know a is going to be under x. And what is this distance here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if a is 6, a squared is 36. So that would go under there. Then My co-vertex, right, the distance from the center to the co-vertex is 1, 2, 3, 4. So b is equal to 4. So b squared is equal to 16. And we know it's all equal to 1. Now, to find the foci for this, right, in this case, your y value is going to be the same for each foci. So this is going to stay 2. That's going to stay 2. But the x coordinate, we have to find c. So if c squared is equal to a squared minus b squared, right? You know c is going to be the square root of 20 again, which is 2 root 5. So we know we're going to take that x coordinate to the center, which is 5. We know we're going to take 5, add 2 root 5. Then we're going to take 5 and subtract 2 root 5. And that would give you the ordered pairs for your foci. Okay. Let's look at another example here. Different given information, right? So right now they're telling us the foci is at 2, 1. And they're telling us the other foci is at 2, negative 7. And they tell you the length of the minor axis is 6. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to basically say our major axis is going to be right here. Okay? Now with that, we know the center is dead in the middle of the foci. Because remember, right, we use the distance from the center to the foci, right, which is c. So right now they're telling us the foci are here, so the center is going to be dead in the middle. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units in between them, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, plot the center, and that's going to be at negative 3, it's going to be at 2, negative 3. So right away, if my center is at 2, negative 3, I can start this equation out real easily. X minus 2 all squared plus y minus negative 3, which becomes y plus 3 all squared, equals 1. But now I have to find this a and b. Now they tell you the length of the minor axis is 6. Okay, so if the minor axis is 6, that means if I go to the center, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That has a distance of 6, but that tells us b is equal to 3. So b squared is going to be 3 squared, which is 9. But because this is horizontal and it's the minor axis, it's going to go under the x. So this is going to be over 9. Now, what we're going to do, we still have to find a. So we know c squared equals a squared minus b squared. Well, what is c going to be here? Well, the distance from the center to the vertex, the foci, right? That is 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So we know c is 4, so c squared is 16. So 16 equals, I don't know a squared, but I know b squared is 9. Now I'm going to go ahead and solve for a squared. I'm going to add 9 to both sides. A squared is equal to 25. So right away, this would be over 25. And that would be the equation of the ellipse with the foci at 2, 1, 2, negative 7, and a minor axis of 6. Let's look at example 4. If we look at example 4, first thing I'm going to do is sketch a graph, right? Your foci are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So negative 8, negative 3, right? and the other one's at 1, 2, 3, 4, -4, -3. So right away you have to understand that your major axis is going to be here. Okay? So now, to find the center, we need to find the middle here. Well, that's at 4, 5, so from 4 to 8, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 units of a jump. So if I go 2 units, 1, 2, puts me in the middle there, and my center right now would be at -6, -3. So if I start my equation, x plus 6 all squared plus y plus 3 all squared equals 1. Now I have to find a and b. Now they tell you the major axis has a length of 8. So I know I'm going to go 4 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4 from the center. Then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 from the center. And if you think about it, if this is 4, I know right away a is 4. So a squared is 16. Now I have to find b. I'm going to use the equation c squared equals a squared minus b squared. So right away, c squared, what is the distance from the center to foci? That distance is 2. So c squared is 4 equals, right now I don't know, sorry, a squared is 16 minus, I don't know b squared. So I subtract 16. I get negative b squared equals -12. So b squared is equal to 12. And here is my equation. Okay? Now, the last example here says write the equation in standard form. This is very similar to what we've done before, right? What I'm going to do is group the x terms. So I'm going to get 9x squared minus 36x, then plus 5y squared plus 30y equals -36. So with this, the first thing I'm going to do is factor out this GCF here of 9. So I'd get x squared. If I divide both of these by that 9, I get x squared minus 4x. But I know I'm going to have to complete this square here. Plus 5 times, again, if I divide these by 5, I get y squared plus 6y. But I know I'm going to have to add something to complete the square, equals -36. So what do I have to add here? Well, -4 divided by 2 all squared is going to give you 4. Then here, half of 6 squared is going to give me 9. But here's the thing. Right here, what is 9 times 4? 36. I have to add 36 to the other side. What is 5 times 9? That's 45. I have to add that to the other side. So right away I get 9 times x minus 2 all squared plus 5 times x plus 3 all squared equals, when I add these together, I get 45. Now I have to actually go and divide everything by 45. So this would reduce to x minus 2 all squared over 5 plus this would reduce to 1 over 9, so x plus 3 all squared over 9 equals 1. This would be the equation of your ellipse from this form. Okay? Do me a favor, go ahead, try the homework, and let me know if you have any questions.